This is Sparta!
Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Tanks. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and in the second of our brand new honest first looks at the two premium tanks currently available, the Guardian STG and the Deathstalker Patton. This is the Guardian STG. Now, let's just get the stats out of the way. It's Russian, tier 8, weighs 28 ton, has 400 horsepower, a speed limit of 50 kilometers an hour, which, honestly, it feels sluggish. It just in my personal opinion, it feels sluggish. It gets up to speed eventually, but it takes a while to get there. The lack of engine power, I think, is the culprit there. It doesn't have a whole lot of armor, or at least it doesn't feel like it has a whole lot of armor. The turret armor, obviously, it's a Russian turret, so you're always going to have some bouncy in there. But the hull itself, 100 millimeters in the front, 45 sides and rear. The turret armor in the front is 210 millimeters thick, and it's the sloped dome turret, so good luck pinning that. And then sides and rear, 180 and 45. That being said, it's got this thing called the 122 millimeter D25 TS, and I will be honest, this gun is phenomenal. I like this gun. It's a medium tank with a 122 millimeter gun, guys. Like, holy crap. You're going to be smacking people. That being said, it's under damaging for a 122 millimeter gun. If you think about 105 millimeter guns, you're usually averaging 400 to 450 a shot, right? Generally. Sometimes you'll go a little low. This has an average damage of 390 for a 122 mil gun. But that's right around what you get out of your IS-3s and whatnot. So I guess it is right there in the wheelhouse. It just feels like a 122 millimeter gun gets undersold for damage. But it has great penetration. I mean, the standard rounds, 212 millimeters of penetration. The premium rounds are a little bit better, 248 millimeters penetration. So you don't really need to carry a whole lot. I did my basic loadout in this video anytime I'm not sure what I'm walking into. Got a 2.5 second aim time. That's a little on the rough side. But the dispersion at 100 meters is only 0.33. That's phenomenal, guys. For that big of a gun, I mean, you're literally, it's point and click. Which brings me to my next point. It has 370 view range, which isn't the greatest. But it's only 20 meters less than the Pattons. And it plays up to tier 10, has a 50% silver bonus and a 10% XP bonus, so the Patton's got the better premium details as far as that goes. So, that being said, this tank feels more like a semi-mobile, self-propelled gun slash tank destroyer, whatever you want to call it. And that's what I'm using it as. Yes, it has armor. Yes, you can get into a fight. But I kind of feel like this tank is made to, you know, sit back at medium to long range and do its business from there. Now, you can absolutely get up in there. But at the same time, anything that shoots your hull is probably going to pin it. You're not going to bounce a whole lot. Or at least I haven't. So, that being said, but the gun is actually pretty phenomenal. If it wasn't for the semi-slow aim time, like, but the fact that it's only got 0.33 millimeters, or millimeters, yeah, 0.33 millimeters of dispersion at 100 meters, that would be ridiculous. But yeah, only 0.33 meters of dispersion at 100 meters. Makes up for the slow aim time a bit. You know that if you aim your shot and you let it fully aim in, you're probably going to hit your target. And that's a big deal. Especially out of Russian tanks. As we all have found out at one point or another, Russian accuracy is non-existent. You kind of just point, click, and hope. Now, we put a shot out here, and there's the one time that I speak up, and the gun's like, nope, I'm Russian, remember? Just completely missed for no reason. Like, almost fully aimed in, pull the trigger, and the shell just jumps off target. It's the one thing that drives me bonkers about World of Tanks. Always has. Oh, hello, Indian Panzer. Pow. There you go. See, 395. That was actually, like, the most average roll you're ever going to get out of this thing. Usually you're going to be hitting for 400. But it is literally... It's just a good overall gun. It doesn't take that long to reload. The CDC was sitting behind me. They start capping the base here soon. And so I start jumping back to help. And but the CDC was sitting behind me shooting, and I'm like, look, dude, don't do that. I don't mind if you're back there shooting, but like, give us some separation. That way, if you get spotted, I'm not getting shot for it. I'd prefer it. Now this ISU 130, I just saw him fire, so I was like, I'll get in here and kill him. He gets loaded, and he puts a hurting on me, but I finished him off anyway. And that rock about screwed the pooch for me. I hit that rock and almost missed. But that being said, we have a nice little Gornich, KV-5. Put one big one right in the backside of that tank. And then I'm looking down. We got a Gornich coming up to help, and we have a Motherland. But I'm looking for the guy in the cap. And then I realized, dude's got a long time to worry about capping. He's got 3 minutes to get that thing capped, and we just don't quite have it to get down there. I try to put it around into the commander's hatch, and I end up goofing it and right into the turret armor. The guy in the cap shoots at me, which lights him up, which is bad for him because now he can be shot. And then we pull up, we put one right into the backside of the Gornich's turret, and we're getting some help, so he's backing off. I pull up and realize that this Motherland is now looking at me, so I put one on him, he puts one on me, a little bit of give and take. And we're making the most of what we got. It's not the greatest, but this gun is pretty phenomenal. I ain't gonna lie. I do like this gun quite a bit. Look at that shot. Auto lock. He's turning away from us initially. The gun has enough accuracy that I can stop, let it aim for a second, and nail the shot. Now here's a shot on the side of this T95E2 that's just absolutely amazing. You just complete. Now this one, on the other hand, I don't know what happens to this shot. Maybe I should have went into paddle vision or paddle in perspective. But that shot bounced off a T95E2. And that was a premium APCR with what we say was 245 millimeters of penetration. Really? I'm no expert. But I know that tank ain't quite that tough. Anyway, so we dealt with them. We know the Carnarvon was on the far left side. He's currently lit anyway. But we haven't seen the medium tank, and we haven't seen the Arty. Somebody's about to find the Arty because they're about to get nailed by him and die. And I believe it's the heavy tank. Yep, there it is. Called it. It's almost like I've been here before. But I can, as you can see, going, if this thing does actually move pretty well, but it just feels sluggish getting there. That lack of engine horsepower kind of hurts it. But it does move pretty good eventually. And boy, if you get this thing in front of somebody with a gun. Like I said, this gun is pretty good. I like it. Now, as for my comparison between the Patton and this tank, they're kind of polar opposites, but not really, and I'll explain. Both of them have paper hulls. Okay, really, just paper hulls. Both of them have the ability to be shot in the turret and not have it pinned. The Patton has a pretty good 90, probably about as good a 90 mil gun as you're going to get. Especially for the American 90 mils, which you guys all know I hate. But for a 90 mil American gun, that's about as good of an American 90 mil you're going to get. I like it. But this 122 millimeter gun separates it from the Patton. The Patton will probably have the DPM advantage, but it's not really that significant because this thing hits pretty decent and it reloads relatively decent. The only knock I really have against it is that it's sluggish off the line and that it does have that little bit of a sluggish aim time. But as you can see, the accuracy has been pretty well on point. We only had the one round that went astray. Everything else has been on point for the entire match. We get 11 pins, and I played it relatively conservatively. Maybe I should have been more aggressive. I could have got more in this match, but still, 11 pins at an average of almost 400. That's going to be 115,000 silver earned, 4,100 damage done, and a Mastery Class 2. So, if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.